Hey everyone, welcome back to English Out Loud, the podcast where two friends have real, natural conversations in English so you can listen, repeat, and start sounding more fluent. I'm Lexi.
And I'm Finn. Today we are talking about education, school, university, how we learn, what we think education is actually for, and whether the system gets it right. We will be using vocabulary that comes up naturally when English speakers talk about learning and education, so pay attention to those words throughout.
Shadow us as always. First time through, just listen and enjoy. Second time, pick one of us and repeat right after we say it. Match the rhythm and the natural pace. Okay, Finn, did you enjoy school?
Parts of it. The social side I loved, seeing friends every day, the feeling of being part of something. But academically, it was very mixed. There were subjects I was genuinely passionate about, and teachers who made those subjects come alive. And there were subjects that felt completely disconnected from anything I cared about, taught in a way that was designed to get me through an exam rather than to actually understand anything.
That distinction between learning for exams and learning for understanding is one a lot of people relate to. You memorize things, you reproduce them in an exam, you pass, and 6 months later, you have forgotten almost everything. The knowledge never really stuck because you were performing understanding rather than actually developing it.
And the exam results become the point rather than the education itself, which creates a strange incentive. The student who memorizes efficiently and performs well on tests gets rewarded, even if they haven't developed any curiosity or love of learning. And the student who thinks deeply and asks difficult questions might actually be learning more, but their grade does not reflect it.
The curriculum is something I think about a lot. Who decides what is worth teaching? In most school systems, the curriculum has not changed dramatically in decades. You learn the same subjects in roughly the same way your parents did. But the world those subjects were designed to prepare you for no longer exists in the same form.
Financial literacy is the classic example. Most people leave school with no idea how to manage money, how taxes work, how to read a contract, how to negotiate. These are skills that directly affect your quality of life every single day as an adult, and they are simply not taught. But you probably know the year of a historical battle you will never think about again.
The argument for a broad curriculum is that you do not always know what you will need, and exposure to many different subjects builds ways of thinking that are valuable, even if you forget the specific content. But that argument only holds if the teaching actually develops those thinking skills, rather than just transferring information to be reproduced on demand.
University was a completely different experience for me. The freedom of it, choosing what to study in depth, engaging with ideas that actually challenged me, having conversations with professors and classmates who were genuinely interested in the same things. I found my intellectual identity there in a way I never did at school.
The transition to university can be jarring, though. Suddenly, no one is checking whether you attended. No one is chasing you for work. No one is managing your time. The structure that school provided disappears, and you have to replace it with discipline that a lot of 18-year-olds have never had to develop before.
For some people, that freedom is liberating. They flourish the moment nobody's watching. For others, it derails them. They arrive intending to work hard and find that without external structure, the habits they thought they had simply do not hold up.
The question of whether university is worth it financially is one more people are asking seriously now. The cost of tuition has increased dramatically in many countries, and the relationship between a degree and a good job is much less direct than it used to be. You can spend 3 years and a significant amount of money and come out into a job market that is indifferent to your qualification.
Though the value of a degree was never only financial. Learning to research, to construct an argument, to engage with complex material, to meet deadlines, these are transferable skills that matter regardless of what you studied. The subject is often less important than what doing it required of you.
Self-directed learning is something I find really interesting because technology has made it more accessible than ever. You can learn almost anything now through online courses, lectures, tutorials, podcasts. Resources that used to be available only to people who could afford formal education are now accessible to almost anyone with an internet connection.
The challenge is discipline and structure. In a formal setting, there's a syllabus, there are deadlines. Someone notices if you fall behind. When you learn independently, you have none of that. You have to provide the structure yourself, and most people find that much harder than they expect.
But the people who crack it, who develop the ability to teach themselves consistently, end up with a real advantage. The world keeps changing, the skills that are valuable keep shifting, and the people who can keep learning throughout their adult lives are the ones who stay capable and relevant over time.
The best teachers I had were the ones who made me want to know more after the lesson ended, who created curiosity rather than just delivering content. Really good teachers are among the most undervalued people in any society.
And the relationship between a student and a teacher who genuinely believes in them can be one of the most formative experiences of a person's life. Being seen by someone with knowledge and authority who tells you that you are capable of more than you think, some people carry those words with them for decades.
Learning never really stops. The most interesting people I know are still actively curious well into their adult lives, still reading, asking questions, willing to be wrong and change their minds. Intellectual curiosity might be the most valuable thing any education can give you. Let's do the vocab recap. 8 keywords from today, slowly, with a real example sentence each. Listen, then repeat right after us.
Curriculum. A curriculum is the full set of subjects and topics taught in a school or educational program. The school updated its curriculum to include more practical life skills alongside traditional academic subjects.
Qualification. A qualification is a certificate, degree, or diploma that proves you have completed a course of study. She had the right qualifications for the job, but lacked the practical experience they were looking for.
Literacy. Literacy refers to the ability to read and write, but also more broadly to competence in a specific area. Financial literacy is something most people wish they had been taught much earlier in life.
Tuition. Tuition refers to the fee paid for formal teaching, particularly at a university or college. The cost of university tuition has risen sharply over the past 2 decades in many countries.
Discipline. In the context of learning, discipline means the ability to make yourself study consistently, even when you do not feel motivated. Self-directed learning requires a level of discipline that a formal classroom structure normally provides for you.
Graduate. To graduate means to successfully complete a course of study and receive your qualification. She graduated with honors and went straight into a training program at a law firm.
Syllabus. A syllabus is a detailed outline of the topics that will be covered in a particular course. He read through the syllabus on the first day and immediately felt overwhelmed by the amount of reading required.
Intellectual curiosity. Intellectual curiosity is a genuine desire to learn and understand new things, driven by interest rather than obligation. The best students are not always the most talented. They are often simply the ones with the most intellectual curiosity.
Eight words used naturally throughout today. Go back and listen again. Notice how each one appeared in context and try to use them the next time education comes up in a conversation in English.
Thank you so much for listening to English Out Loud. Share this with someone who is also learning English. We will be back very soon with a brand new topic. Until then, keep shadowing, keep learning, and stay curious.
See you next time.